Yesterday, I met somebody who claimed that he came from where George Morara came from. So when he saw my video explaining on how George Morara died, he was very happy and he thanked me. It made me think about meeting people who are related to the people who I've exposed. Yes, there are three types. There are two types of people I've met. There are those people who are related to victims of political assassinations, and also I've met people who are relatives of people who are heavily implicated in political assassinations, and I wanted to share with you my feelings and my observation. First of all, I'm not happy there was somebody, Stanley Thuo, who was the district commissioner Nyandarua when J.M. Kariuki died. Somebody with a name Thuo came to my messenger inbox and he tried to influence my leaning of the stories. He wanted to give me the story about Thuo. Mr. Thuo Jr., let me tell you publicly, when J.M. Kariuki died, I was a student at Mbagathi Road Primary School next to Mbagathi Hospital. What I know is what I read in Nyati House. Now, if you have an alternative, I don't want to say that what the special branch wrote is the gospel truth, because according to special branch, Gethi got J.M. Kariuki from Oleodume Road. But from one of the J.M. widows, she told me face to face that J.M. Kariuki, Gethi came and took J.M. Kariuki from Kindaruma Road. Now Kindaruma to Oleodume, that is a distance of about 4 to 5 kilometers away. And if you ask me, what is recorded at Nyati House and what an immediate member family of J.M. Kariuki tells me, I would rather go for the J.M. Kariuki's family saying. So you coming up with a story, I do not want to be used to clean up people. I have a reputation to keep, and I have built a big reputation and it can be spoiled in a millisecond. So I don't want you to come to me and try to launder your father's name. Your father may be innocent completely, your father may be partly innocent or whatever. If you want to give out if I believe what you are saying, then I can assist you to say. But if I sense that you are trying to use me to clean your father's dirty name, you are approaching the wrong person, not Omwana wa Papa Lando. Viewers, what Thuo Jr. was trying to tell me is that, yes, his father withdrew the license of the pistol of JM, and the father shadowed these people, and the father stayed next to JM's dying boy, and JM died when the father was there, and he tried to keep off the hyenas not to eat JM until he saw a Maasai coming, and that is when he went and left the Maasai to officially. That one, I was not there. If Thuo believes it is the truth, then he should come out. He should not use a person like me to launder his father's name. I have met the JM family. As I've said, I've met one of the widows. She stays not far from Yaya Center. We talked. One thing I noticed is that she cannot keep a story for, if you talk for 5 or more minutes, she loses traction. But she was there with one of her best friends. I don't know whether it is her relative or JM's relative, but it was a Kikuyu lady who is married into Kisii tribe, and she was being called Mama Mora or Mama something, Kisii word. I talked and explained everything, and I would find that this lady is the same age as Mrs. Karaoke, and she was on top of things. She would even cross-examine me things, and I would even discover, and I would say, "Oh, madam, I didn't see that." In fact, if I was still there, I would have tried to investigate that. But do you know that with the intelligence, if you try to dig deeper, you so we continued. But I would notice that J.M. Karaoke's widow would occasionally get lost of whatever was saying. But this Kikuyu lady married into Kisii tribe at the end of the story, because our coffee got cold. We took it when it was very cold. At the end of the story, she thanked me and said now she can go and tell her children, because her children have always been asking a lot of questions. Why was uncle killed? Who killed him and all that? Now you have answered me a lot of things, and I was happy with the way the reception was. Rosemary, we are on contact, but not physical. I can only say that I understand when she was made a minister in the county government, her time was taken over, but I don't think I have anything more to tell the family. Maybe just a get together. I can say that Ben Gedhi is my maternal relative, because you know this Mshenga. He told my father, let me take you to Davidson Gyoboine Kuguru, and you marry one of the daughters. My mother was brought up by Kuguru, Davidson Kuguru, and she's Mrs. Peter Kuguru's mother was a younger sister to my maternal grandmother. So my mother was brought up in that home, a place called Morogoro, just next to Marwa in Kiganjo. So after saying that, it was with a heavy heart, and also Kenyans have got to understand that I do this thing with a heavy heart, because those people who, imagine colleagues, people you used to work with, they would even tell you how they assassinated people, and you come out and say that, can I say, betraying people you knew for people you do not know. Because when you say that, I had never met families of those people who were assassinated, but I stood with the truth. So I met a granddaughter of, she's a police officer, she also called Gedhi, Constable Gedhi, and I was made to understand that Gedhi, before he died, he had told his sons to come out and clean, and say he regretted not only leading his classmate to his death, but also being the person who pulled the trigger. But my observation here is Gedhi never regretted that. It is only that when, after the attempted coup of 1982, that when the government turned against Gedhi, that is when Gedhi started reflecting and started regretting. If the government would not have betrayed Gedhi in 1982, he would have died without regretting. And the sons were confused, because according to the Kikuyu tradition, if your parent tells you something before he or she dies, you have to make sure that he or she changes his or her mind before the death. After the death, you are compelled to do what he or she said. But when I said it, they felt that it is good, that the father wanted the world to know, and somebody has come up. Muge, I have been in contact by phone and social media with one of his sons, and the family is grateful. Mrs. Muge, before she died, she was quoted in the press thanking me for being bold and coming out to say how he died. I'm in contact with the son. The son took a first degree and then took a second degree in law. he has decided to pursue. He wants to look for enough evidence to convict his father's killers. As on my part, you see, I'm quoting documents which are in Nyati House, and those documents cannot be produced in court. So I have done the much I can do. When Christabella Ouko died, during her funeral service at Sitam, the main Sitam, uh, I went and attended the funeral. The family was so shocked that I could not talk to Ken or anybody near there, but I talked to a next of kin, and we talked, and the next of kin told me to keep off the family, to respect the family's privacy for at least 40 days. But he gave me a cousin to Ken. He gave me his number, which I saved in my phone, and he told me that after 40 days I was to contact him, and then he would then he looked me into the eye and said, "Do you have any problem?" I said, "I only have one problem, that two of my sons are about to join secondary, and I was saying I would have school fees problems." He promised me that the Ouko family will educate my children up to Form 4. And then I took the phone and then lost the phone mysteriously. I think I know how I lost it. The shadow must have taken that phone. And that is how I lost all contact with the Ouko family. The two boys already completed Form 4, and in a month or so they are in their sophomore. So that thing was overtaken by event. Who may survive forgotten? I went to the church, ACK Eldoret. I was given permission. Actually, the watchmen were told that whenever I go there, I would be given permission to enter Bishop Muge's tomb anytime without any question. I was given a green card. One thing I can only say is that, and I think that is the feeling of the church, of the family. You know, Bishop Muge was a bishop, and he was also a human rights activist. I think the family would want that aspect of human rights activists to continue on and on, but the church is against it. Actually, I was politely not included. I was politely not included in the in last August's memorial, because the church wants him to be remembered as a bishop who extended churches, built more churches and whatever. So a person who comes up and then says, you see, I'm the investigator who did the Bishop Muge investigation, the aspect of Bishop Muge being a human rights activist would come, and that one would even affect, the storyline and whatever. So I think my opinion, though, is which may be wrong, is that I'm welcomed 364 days to that church. But that one particular day of remembrance of Bishop Muge's death, I don't think I'm required there. If I get more information, we will share.